Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, I say a special welcome to you. This is the 4th video in our cultural diversity in food series, and for today we are celebrating Italy. Yay! So I'm going to show you in this video how to make a pizza cake. Today I'll be showing you how I made a Pizza Diavola Cake. I know I didn't get that right. Anyway, Pizza Diavola is a very spicy Italian pizza. So in the video I'm going to show you how I made a cake that looks like it, complete with the hot salami and hot chili peppers. So if you'd like to know how I made the cake, keep watching the video to the end. And if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe, click like on my videos, as it will help me to expose my videos to more viewers. Thank you. So let's get right on to the cake.
So guys, I'm going to first of all bake a cake in a pizza pan using my vanilla cake recipe. The link to a video where you can get this recipe is in the description below. While my cake is baking, I'll start making the toppings. So I'm going to be making just the chili peppers and the salami. So I've gone ahead to prepare my fondant for the salami. So here I've got some reddish brown fondant, white fondant, and a darker shade of the reddish brown fondant. To get the reddish brown color, I mixed both red and brown gel food color. So for the darker shade, I added more of the brown food color. This pizza cake is going to have minimal toppings. It's just the salami and the chili peppers. So I chose this particular pizza because it's a traditional Italian pizza, and from what I gathered, in terms of toppings, less is more in authentic Italian pizzas. To make the salami, I've taken the lighter shade of the reddish brown fondant, and I'm just going to roll out 4 different sized logs out of the fondant and then flatten them with my hands. Next, I'll roll out thinner logs from the white fondant and then start stacking the reddish brown and the white fondant up one after the other. When I'm done stacking them, I'll press them together and then roll everything into one big log. Next, I'll use a small knife to split the log into 2, press the 2 halves together, and then roll them into a single log. So I'll continue repeating this process until I'm satisfied with the appearance of the fondant. Although I just did this 3 times because you don't want to overdo it, as it will cause the colors to overmix and it will not give you the desired effect. When I'm done with the process, I'll set the fondant log aside and then roll the darker shade of the reddish brown fondant. I'm going to roll it very thin and then wrap it around the log which I prepared earlier. Here I'm just dusting my surface and the fondant with some corn flour so the fondant doesn't stick to the surface when rolling it. Now I'm wrapping the fondant around the log and then cutting it to fit using a small knife. Next, I'll roll it lightly on my surface to seal everything together, and then holding the 2 edges, I'll twist and seal them as well. Next, using my knife, I'll mark out random lines on the log, being very careful not to cut into the log. When I'm done wrapping the log, I'm going to place it inside some cling film and then wrap and seal it. When I've sealed it properly, I'm going to put it in the freezer for at least 30 minutes. To make the chili peppers, I colored some fondant light green using the sugar flare gel color in mint green. Then I cut up small pieces of this green fondant and then roll them to form the shape of chili peppers. After forming them, I'll then bend them slightly, just like chili peppers. When I'm done forming the peppers, I'll wrap them individually in some cling film and then put them in the freezer for roughly 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I took the fondant peppers out of the freezer to paint them. So for the first coat, I mixed some vodka with some of the green color which I used to color the fondant initially. And then using a soft brush, I painted this all over the fondant chilies. So I did this for all of the prepared chilies and then allowed them to dry for about 10 minutes in the freezer. After they had dried, I applied the second coat, which I prepared by mixing some of the same green gel color with some vodka and a drop of red gel color. I added this gel color to tone down the green slightly. The red color that I used was the sugar flare gel color in red extra. When I was done painting the fondant peppers, I set them aside to dry and then moved on to the cake. My cake is now fully baked, cooled and ready to be carved. So here I'm using a small knife to mark out a circle about an inch away from the edge of the cake. This line doesn't have to be perfect. And then using the same knife, I'm taking off the caramelized bit off the top of the inner circle. I'm not going to throw away these cake crumbs, guys. I'll set them aside because I'll be needing them for the cake later. Next, I'll use a soft brush to apply some raspberry jam around the edge of the cake. This jam is going to serve as my glue to glue the fondant on later. Here I've colored some fondant cream with the sugar flare gel color in egg yellow stroke cream. I'll take some of the fondant, roll it into a log, and then start pressing it down with my fingers. When I'm done with this, I'll apply the fondant around the edges of the cake to form the pizza crust. So here I'm just pressing it down using my fingers to attach it to the cake. And then while doing this, I'll also be tucking the outer edges of the fondant underneath the cake. I'm not worried about making the fondant smooth because it needs to have an uneven surface, just like you would see in a real pizza crust. The log that I made didn't go around the entire cake edge, so I'm going to make and attach another one to cover the remaining edges. As you can see, I'm just cutting off the excess fondant and then sealing the two ends together. Also, in this case, I'm not bothered about the seams because by the time I'm done with the next step, they won't be visible. I'm just using my knife to thin out the inner edge of the crust. And in the next step, using a blowtorch, I'll burn the fondant that I just attached. After burning the crust, I'll use a knife to cut the rough edges off. To make the tomato sauce, I'm putting some raspberry jam into the cake crumbs I set aside earlier and then using a wooden spoon to mix them together. I'm just adding some more jam as it's a bit too dry for my liking. Here I'm adding and mixing in some edible red gel color to the mixture. Next, I'll add and mix in some edible yellow gel color as well to tone down the red. After making the sauce, I'm going to spread it on top of my cake using a wooden spoon. As you can see, I'm just trying to push the sauce to the edge without it getting onto the crust. For my cheese, I'm grating some white chocolate using a grater. To get large pieces similar to mozzarella cheese, I'm using the large part of the grater to grate some of the chocolate. Next, I'm going to start spreading the grated chocolate all over the top of the cake. After spreading the chocolate, I went on to finish off the chili and the salami toppings. So for the chilies, I sliced them up, and then using a fondant tool, I poked 2 irregular holes in the slices. Then I brought out the fondant salami from the freezer. By this time it was already very hard, and then I sliced it up as well. And then using my fingers coated with some corn flour, I flattened and shaped them further. When I finished, I melted the chocolate on the cake using a blowtorch. I then melted some additional chocolate in the microwave and then used a spoon to pour it on top of the cake. Next, I started placing the already prepared toppings on the cake. As you can see from the video, I'm folding some of the fondant salamis so it curls at the edges and it's not flat when I place it on the cake.
So guys, that's the finished pizza cake. You can see the salami and the chili pepper. So we're going to now dig into this cake. We're gonna cut it. Got my pizza cutter here. Oh wow. That's it. It's a little weird. It looks like you're trying out pizza, but it tastes like cake. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for stopping by. It was lovely having you once again on the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe so that you get notified anytime I put up new videos. I hope you really enjoyed this video and I hope you get to try the cake. And also I look forward to having you on my next video. But until then, take care and look after yourselves. Bye bye.